This classic episode of the Electric Playground is brought to you by P&P Games, your source for everything video games. Support the partners that support Electric Playground. Remember, this episode first aired in 2000.
Here is a game that combines both fighting and shooting. It's a game called ONI. Oni, Oni, Mamoni, Mamoni, Tony, Tony, Galoni, Tony, 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 Baboni, Boni, Loni, Loni, the Doni, ONI. I said Oni, 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 Gadoni, Galoni, Tony, Tony.
We're sitting out by the pool. I'm with Doug Zartman from Bungie Software, and we're talking about ONI. So tell me all about ONI.
Well, ONI is an intense anime action thriller.
Yeah.
It's a game that combines hand-to-hand combat and gunplay into one unified action experience.
I'm talking to the project lead for ONI, Michael Evans. Tell me about the inspiration for this character and the whole concept of the gameplay.
Obviously see by character design that it's an anime movie. Like, we're inspired by the anime genre. We didn't want to go the Tomb Raider route. We wanted to go like a little higher ground and have a character we could feel a little more proud of.
We want players who are playing the game to feel like they're in the midst of a great action anime. One of the really unique things is that all of our levels are designed by real architects in AutoCAD.
Who is this? Is this ONI? What's her name?
This is Kanoko, actually. This is the main character in the game.
He worked for the TCTF, which is the Technology Crimes Task Force.
I used to work there.
Oh yeah, I think I remember seeing you somewhere around the TCTF building.
It's set in the future, a lot of technological crimes happening, and her mission in the game is to infiltrate and destroy sort of a high-tech mafia, which is known as the Syndicate.
Fighting game meets first-person shooter almost.
Definitely, we've worked really hard to make that seamless. Like, there are other games that have had a modal approach where you'll be in a first-person shooter for a while, and then the game will totally switch, and you'll be in a fighting game. And ONI is not at all like that. You could be running along and shooting, and then you can jump kick someone, and while you're doing that, you can shoot. And in fact, there's even fighting moves that are specifically oriented towards dealing with armed opponents. There are throws where you disarm the person, like arm locks, and you grab the pistol out of their hand.
You can steal their weapons?
Exactly.
Do you mind just sort of like physically showing me how this stuff works? This is Jeff, and this is Rob. He's going to take us through some of the moves in ONI.
I might do something like run up, take out one leg, do another gun under the head, or clothesline moves like this. It's kind of a...
I think you ripped his beard. I can't wait to play ONI, man. This thing is going to rock. ONI for PlayStation 2. I think he's dead.
I'm here with Deuce Staley of Philadelphia Eagles, and we're here to find out about his mad video game skills. How you doing?
All right. On Madden, I'm pretty good, but game day, I'm not that good.
Why is that?
I haven't really been practicing. Plus Madden, you know, him kind of showing me love, me making an all-Madden team. I got to play the game.
Now, what's the atmosphere like in the dressing room? You guys have a lot of game players on your football team?
Oh yeah, it's in the locker room, and a lot of guys come in that's competitive on the field and off the field. They come in, they play the game, and you know, I'm kind of like maybe fourth best on the team. Is that good?
You should give yourself some more credit than that.
Can I beat you?
No.
Staley gets some big real estate on that run.
Do they really feel like the real game? Do you think they really do a good job of showing what's in the game?
Oh, definitely. The graphics are great. You know, those guys, I know that's some hard work as far as getting everybody agility and their speed and all that up. But the guys that make those games, I tip my hat off any day. It does a great job.
Thanks for your time, and I look forward to kicking your butt in some games soon.
Oh, yeah.
For more information on any of the games or stories featured on EP, visit our website at www.electplay.com.
You'll find it no surprise that many of us on staff at P&P Games are lifelong video gamers ourselves. Why, I still remember getting my first video game console, a Sega Genesis 2 at the age of 3.5 years old, roughly 9 years ago. Don't think too much about that. I exist outside of time. When Victor Lucas was looking for partners for the Electric Playground Classic, it was our online communities that brought us together. A fact that is far more flattering to us, I assure you. It has been an absolute honor partnering with the Electric Playground so that it can continue to inspire the generations to come and comfort those returning to it for a repeat viewing. Share these episodes, celebrate the cool things that people make, and if you're able, shop pnpgamesonline.com, your source for everything video games. And play forever.
One of the most highly anticipated games coming this year for the SEGA Dreamcast is Ecco The Dolphin. We are very fortunate to be speaking to Gabrielle about Ecco The Dolphin, Defender of the Future. Why is Ecco The Dolphin the Defender of the Future?
Ecco the Dolphin runs into a lot of mishaps in the ocean. He's got predators, he's got friends, he's got all kinds of obstacles and puzzles to complete.
Now look at this. This looks great.
You can charge, get a little speed going. We can go visit and talk to friends in the neighborhood.
So this follows their dolphin games from before, except this is 3D.
Exactly. Now you can talk to these creatures. There's different animals like turtles, whales, other dolphins, there's sharks.
How many levels are in this game?
There's over 40 levels in the complete version. This is the first level. So this level's sort of just to ease the person into it, get used to the controls, get used to talking to the other creatures and learning your mission. So it's basically a huge puzzle with amazing graphics, great sound, and it gets more difficult as you go along.
What is your favorite level in the game, would you say?
There's one level that has some water bubbles that you jump into and they float you up into the atmosphere, and then you jump out into another air bubble and just kind of skip over them. You can float in and out of different atmospheres in the water or in the air, and so it's just really surreal and beautiful.
Well, thank you very much. This rocks. Ecco the Dolphin, Defender of the Future.
This is Ray Romano. You're watching Electric Playground. Have fun.
Oh, God, you gotta be kidding me. God, you little green Yoshi. You Yoshi, that was in. That's bull. We got a new game here called Mario Tennis.
I'm gonna win.
Last year, the guys at Camelot came out with a really great Nintendo 64 game called Mario Golf. And this year, the same guys put together what I think is going to be one of the funnest multiplayer games on N64 2000, Mario Tennis.
This game, 4-player tennis action, almost takes it to the back of Super Tennis on Super NES. And everybody loved that game. I know, I still play that game at work. These controllers haven't been put down in the last 3 days.
Yeah, every time we've looked over, there's a huge crowd around this.
Oh yeah, it's so much fun. There's like the rings in the game, like ring shot back in Mario Golf, they had that, but now they have ring tennis. So you're actually playing like a doubles game, there's a bunch of rings that you have to go through, as well as beat your opponent.
Very cool.
Earn characters, top score, everything. I mean, it's just so much of a blast to play.
And I guess there's like special kinds of tennis courts that you can access if you get really good at the game?
Yes.
How many characters altogether do you think?
Oh, right now, I would say about 20.
20 different characters.
You start off with about 10, 12 characters.
Yeah.
And like anywhere from a Shy Guy to like Mario to Wario, Luigi. And then you can earn characters as you go on through.
Very
just
cool.
like you could in Mario Golf. There's
Yeah.
tournaments that you have to go through, play different sets. Sometimes it's a 5-set game, win the championship. It's like tennis, but it's got our own little twists in there.
I saw some of the animation in this game, and it is absolutely phenomenal. The characters stretch out their bodies. The 3D design on these characters is fantastic.
You can actually see them leap, and they're like they have ground, and it's like they're actually hitting the ground when they fall, and they bounce off. And
so
I mean,
great.
they have such depth and such weight when they move. It's just insane.
They look like little plastic toys running around trying to hit the ball back.
You got it. That's exactly what they look like.
So, do you have to be a sports fan to enjoy this game?
Oh no,
No?
You could be like average about sports. You could even not like sports. This will make you love tennis.
Yeah.
This game is so hot.
Get ready for BioWare's Baldur's Gate 2.
Hey, we're in Irvine, California. I'm here with Chris Parker. We're at Black Isle Studios, and believe it or not, this guy was the first producer on Baldur's Gate 1. He was worked to death, and now Chris Parker has taken over, and he's the producer on Baldur's Gate 2. Actually, he was the producer on Baldur's Gate 1. I'm lying. Baldur's Gate 2 is loaded with all kinds of new features?
All kinds of new stuff. Actually, Baldur's Gate 2, what we did is we went out onto the internet while our fans got their feedback and compiled a list of stuff that people didn't like, did like, and focused all of our sort of development efforts around tweaking the engine, changing things in the game based on that feedback. Gone through, added in about 20 different character kits. Like now you can wield a weapon in each hand. We've also added in a new race, the half-orc.
It's also a multiplayer game.
If you play multiplayer, what you can do is have up to 6 players join. They can each create their own party member that is.
Right.
And then you form up into a party. And then you're allowed to play through the story the exact same way as you would in single player, only you play cooperatively.
Is there different modes in multiplayer?
You can play in a deathmatch mode. We actually have added in some stuff for that makes it a little bit more accessible. Before it was kind of like you just would hop into a multiplayer game and pick whatever random part of the story you wanted to go fight in.
Right.
We've actually added in an area, some various little places where you can go and set up your little deathmatch. There's actually a multiplayer arena that's kind of big and wacky.
So tell us some of the spells that are in the game.
Well, we have over 170 spells that were actually in BG1, such as Magic Missile, Fireball, Invisibility, Flame Arrow, and as well as over 130 new spells, mostly higher level, including really cool stuff like Chain Lightning.
Yeah, those are cool, man. I like them. Chris, Baldur's Gate 2 sounds awesome. You guys did a great job with the first game. I know this one's going to be a lot of fun.
Thank you very much.
For more information on any of the games or stories featured on EP, visit our website at www.electplay.com.
Hurry up, the Electric Playground Classic is starting. Be right there, just grabbing a chug juice.
Get your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty ape! Fox Interactive is coming out with a new game based on the Planet of the Apes license. I'm here with Tim, and we're talking about Planet of the Apes. I'm a huge Planet of the Apes fan. Tell me about it. What can us fans expect out of this one?
You play the humans, your whole goal is to avoid getting caught by the apes. There is the ability to use weapons, but stealth mode is your most successful route to get away from the apes. Like the movie, it starts out with the crew of the ship crashing down to Earth 3,000 years later. From there, humans are imprisoned, and your goal is to get out. And you encounter all the characters in the movie, Dr. Zaius,
Cornelius, Zira, Urko, you got Aldo, you got all those guys.
The only good human is a dead human.
Do you use a gun in this?
Actually, you use a number of different weapons, guns. You have to wrestle guns away from the apes or find guns, knives. You even have tools you have to use to pick locks, to interact with the environment, solve puzzles, to open doors.
I was looking at like the movement of this thing, and it's like really cool the way like the apes move.
Very realistic. We try to get very authentic emotions with the apes as well as the humans. The entire movie series as well as the television series and the cartoon series were all used in reference for the game.
Can we expect maybe Fox to be building this as a franchise?
An ideal license for a game and a series of games.
We're strictly on PC right now, or?
PC and PlayStation.
Oh, and PlayStation also. Awesome, Tim. Thanks a lot for sharing all of your ape knowledge.
No pictures! No pictures!
For more information on any of the games or stories featured on EP, visit our website at www.electplay.com.
We talked to Doug Lowenstein, the president of the IDSA. Now, IDSA stands for IDSA. I am here with Doug Lowenstein from IDSA. What would you say is the main goal of E3?
E3 Expo is the first place that companies come to launch a product and begin that effort to create a lot of excitement about what they have to offer.
I remember going to all the old CES shows.
The industry, I think, got sick and tired of being a stepchild of CES.
Home stereo and car equipment.
And karaoke's and getting put out in tents. It's the fastest growing segment of the entertainment industry in America today, and it deserved and needed a show of its own.
What exactly is the role of IDSA?
We represent the interests of the computer and video game industries at the state legislative level, at the U.S. Congress. We do research on behalf of the industry to help companies understand the markets better. We run anti-piracy programs.
Do you see the internet as being the biggest source of piracy?
Almost anybody with a minimum of skill can get on the internet and find free downloads of games, devices that circumvent copyright protections. It's a real difficult area to trace.
I remember hearing about IDSA first when the whole video game violence thing was happening.
Well, IDSA was born out of controversy in 1993, 1994 over video game violence. As you may recall, back in what seems like the Stone Age of video and computer game movement, a product came out called Mortal Kombat.
Yes.
That at the time was viewed as a threat to Western civilization and the fabric of our culture. And members of the United States Senate felt that they needed to intervene to impose a federal regulatory system on the industry. The industry responded by saying we'd prefer to self-regulate. And out of that grew a rating system called the Entertainment Software Rating Board, which has rated over 4,000 products since it began operations in September '94.
When a game is rated, what's the process?
There's an independent rating board that operates out of New York. There are over 100 individuals from all walks of life who are trained by the executive director of the rating board to examine game content and render a rating. Each game is viewed separately by 3 individuals who are randomly assigned to view the game by computer. Based on the collective judgment of the 3 raters, a final rating is issued.
Cool. Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
This is so weird, huh?
For more information on any of the games or stories featured on EP, visit our website at www.electplay.com.
Oh, you're just catching me on my way out. You know, there's nothing quite like punching your time clock and knowing you're headed home to a great game. Or even a good game. Or what can loosely be considered a game, but is more accurately described as a disco fever dream. But I digress. If your spare time is in need of a new release or retro favorite video game, look no further than P&P Games, your source for everything video games. Join their free loyalty program and enjoy free shipping on orders of $65 Canadian or more within Canada or the USA. Shop pnpgamesonline.com and have a good night!
Now here is a cool game for the Game Boy Color. It's called Wings of Fury. It's like a World War II flight simulator. It's an old game that they used to be on the Commodore 64 and Amiga. You actually have a little plane and you go off the ship. You actually can pick if you want missiles or big bombs or small bombs. And there's other planes that you can attack, and you try to get behind the Zeros and shoot them out of the sky, so you have machine guns also. The animations on the plane are really cool because you can spin around and you can do loop-de-loops. So basically you're bombing stuff on ground. It tells you each of your missions, and you just try to complete missions over and over again. The music and sound effects are really cool, so you got to check it out. I give it a 7.8 out of 10.
Okay, so we're here at a video game store because we shop for games just as much as you guys do, and we're going to be reviewing some stuff today, starting with Army Men World War.
Well, and for the most part, it's kind of cool because you know, it's kind of third person, and you're going around and you're against the tan army, so you're shooting. And the great thing is when you shoot a guy, like chunks of his arm come off, like little plastic pieces come off.
We should let people know that it's different than Sarge's Heroes, which was the game that came out last year, the third-person Army Men game.
Right.
How many Army Men games are there?
85.
It's incredible how many Army Men games 3DO can make in a month.
You can actually see all the seams
For the textures, I know.
For the
They slapped it all together that way. They've been using the Army Men idea to make a bunch of different games, and everybody's played those little plastic Army Men. We used to all melt them when we were kids.
Yep.
But what they want to do is take those Army Men characters and put them into sort of a realistic war environment, sort of tank-style control to move your character around. But it's very, very slow.
The problem is that you kind of, you run out to try to shoot a guy, and then because you have to kind of turn, so you run out, oh no, there's a guy shooting from this side. You rotate, and by that time, you're missing your arm.
I don't understand why they have to crank out so many so quickly. Give them time and get them right.
They had some good concepts, some good ideas.
What are you going to give the game?
5.3.
5.3. Yeah. Thanks for keeping us in suspense there.
Well,
I'm giving it a 5. 5 out of 10.
5 even.
What'd you think of Plasma Sword for the Dreamcast, a sequel to Star Gladiator on the PlayStation?
The best part of this game is the wacky, zany, freaked out characters.
The tongue guy, what's his name?
They got a guy...
Saturn, I think. If I had a cone head and I could do this,
it looks exactly like him. There's a guy in there, if you took Chewbacca and he mated with an Ewok,
yes,
you would get that guy.
That's Gamoth. He's cool.
Okay.
These are the big dudes.
This is the only good part in the whole game.
The
they got a couple of weird, wacky characters. This game is barf.
Barf?
Barf.
Just like that's your code word
That's
for
it.
it's not very good?
This is a Dreamcast. The graphics blow. The music blows.
It looks like a PlayStation game, doesn't it? It's in high res, but the characters are not very well textured. It's a fine playing
it's
gameplay.
too quick. It's not even like Tekken is a fighting game. This is not a fighting game.
Well, it's different. This is like giving
pseudo 3D. It's not really 3D, but the characters are in 3D.
You can jump in and out of perspective.
But the screen always stays like this, so it's not like you can't really run around a character or anything.
No,
They're
it's
like
no Soul
ripping you
Calibur,
off.
but it has lightsabers. I rest my case. There's lightsabers in this game.
No,
and,
doesn't make the
really,
case.
really super flashy Capcom extravaganza.
Brilliant, bright colors. You have to wear your sunglasses.
Special effects. It's really quite crazy that way.
You really never feel like you have control of the player.
I think, this is a decent game. It just can't compare to Soul Calibur. I'm giving it a 7 out of 10.
Oh.
All right, what are you giving it?
I'm going to give it a 4.8 because
4.8
because that's what it deserves.
All right. Okay. What did you think of The Last Call for the PC?
Here's another
crazy game. Absolutely mental, crazy. It's a bartending simulation.
It's a I mean,
Do we have to
really
say anything else?
It's
crazy. You learn how to pour drinks in this game.
It's this is the type of game that really you should just be able to download off the internet.
Yeah.
I don't believe they charge money for this game.
You've got all these crazy characters and they have all these funny lines and stuff. Funny lines.
This drink is like glass, a super cool liquid.
You get challenged to learn how to pour the right drinks for people and get their money.
To be honest with you, if anyone out there wants to be a bartender or is thinking of learning how to mix drinks, this game is actually really cool to do that.
It'll be good for a weekend rental or something like that, but definitely.
I don't know how anyone can play that game for a whole weekend. You have to check people's IDs, which is funny. You have a bouncer to throw out. There's this
That's funny, yeah.
Yeah, so you can bounce people out. You can hit on girls, which I find that's the fun stuff.
And the characters are pretty crazy. You've got a nurse, you've got a ladies man type guy. I'll be generous. 5 out of 10 for Last Call.
I'll give it a 5 out of 10. I'll be generous.
5 out of 10.
They did a good job. Almost.
You know what I think that is? I think that's 1 point for the game and 4 points for being
originality.
original.
Exactly. That's exactly it.
All right. So what did you think of Mario Tennis for the Nintendo 64?
Finally a game that doesn't get less than a 5. Excellent.
I love this game.
This was a cool game. Now, you
game.
know me, I don't like the small, cutesy, colorful, little...
You know why? I figured it out.
Nintendo game.
Because you are a small, little, cutesy character.
Is that the reason
I
why?
think that's what it is, and you just want to be different.
I didn't mind this as much because it's a really fun game. It's really easy to control. Don't pick any. I mean, I picked Yoshi and I rocked this guy's world with
I was
Yoshi.
Baby Mario.
Why even bother
had
taking?
No reach.
Yeah,
really
and then so different characters. You can play Donkey Kong and he's powerful, but he's slow as heck. You don't.
You know
want
what they've done? They've taken the Mario Kart style of character definition and incorporated this into this game. It's really easy to play. So if you've got 4 friends over and you want to just get you
play
have fun
1
for
to
half an
4
hour.
players.
It's another classic example of how Nintendo takes an established genre of game, adds a little extra character and flash to it, makes it really solid. and it provides you a game that's going to give you lots and lots of playtime.
Basically, I'm thinking an 8 for me.
8?
A solid 8, yeah. I mean, it's not the end-all tennis games of all time, but it's really fun.
It is for the N64.
It's 8.
10. I'm giving it a 10.
Oh, here we go
I
again.
love the game. I gave Mario Golf a 10 because it was the best golf you could get on N64. This is the best tennis you can get on N64. Awesome game. Definitely want to pick it up.
You can find all the games featured in Reviews on the Run and hundreds more at all Microplay locations across North America. Remember, Microplay, buy, rent, sell, trade.
Okay, what are you going to do? Kick my ass or what? Yeah. Can you
want to?
Yeah, please.
You want to get hurt?
Yes. No, really. You haven't seen the show. I get hurt all the time.
Oh, yeah?
Wrestle me down. Whoa. That's great.
Production assistance for Electric Playground is provided by M-Player, Earth's free multiplayer gaming service. Sony Computer Entertainment, makers of Siphon Filter 2 for PlayStation. And Computech Media, publishers of Insight Video Gaming, Insight PC Gaming, and Insight.com.
Perfect. Done? We need a plate. Let's get him down. Get that boom. Get that boom out of my way.
Can I break this net? Help.
Give me that!
This classic episode of the Electric Playground was brought to you by P&P Games, your source for everything video games. Support the partners that support the Electric Playground. Thanks for watching, and play forever.